All right. Our next topic is the run and trick performance value in points and implications for the ranking position. How does this work? Judging is a tool to rank athletes fairly. So, guys, in our previous episode, we discussed the relationship or the ratio between the point evaluations and the ranking, and we explained that the judging is a tool to rank skateboarders fairly. How would you apply this and explain it on street skateboarding, Matt?
Yeah, so this is one that definitely comes up pretty often, and any aspiring judge should understand this simple, uh, I guess, fact in a way. The most important thing is the correct ranking of each skater
Hmm.
in the correct order that the judging panel believes they should be in. And how we do that is we use an actual scores to provide us with a spot where those skaters ranked, and we can adjust the scores up or down based on where we feel that the next rider could be slotted in.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't use past performances or even previous events for our scores that were given on this event. Skaters are only judged against that current competition that day only, not judged against any other past performance or past contest ever. And then it comes down to a good judging panel will make sure that the correct ranking is in place, and
Hmm.
therefore the scores will reflect that ranking.
All right, makes sense because we talked about the no firmly assigned kind of points in skateboarding, and that no tricks can be identical to each other. And we also discussed before that every design of the skate park varies event to event, and the sizes, the angles, the length of the rails are changing, and there is so many aspects that can influence uh, how the obstacle is difficult or which trick is harder on that obstacle or in that course, or which line is harder. Same as in the park, just what we said, that some lines in park are a miracle itself. They are the trick itself, just to put those tricks together in a certain way. So that makes sense. But when we say about the evaluations and the ranking, this has to make some sense, right? It cannot be just like judges throwing out like, hey, this is a fiver and this is something. How does this work? Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I can relate a little bit there. No, this comes down to what we discussed earlier. Preparation is key.
Hmm.
So by the judges like paying attention to practice sessions, to understanding the level of skateboarding that's going to happen in front of them on that even current day, they will already have like a basic range of where tricks and runs could score.
Hmm.
There's not a set firm evaluation for any trick or runs, but it's good to have kind of a general idea of where that may land. And then from there, you can judge everyone else accordingly.
Hmm. So it's kind of like the experience, the look on the retrospective side of things, combined with the skateboarding common sense applied to that very moment and to that unique FOP and to that performance that the judges see in front of their eyes, right? It's not like
Yes.
we are putting tricks into a boxes or categories or something like this, because the most common thing is like and we discussed it in the previous episode. It's like, hey, this was a 72.5 last week. How come it's not 72.5 today? And you know,
Because skateboarding is actually evolving as we are as these events are taking place in real time. So yeah, it's just you cannot assign any points for anything because skateboarders are not skating the same course every event. So it's ever changing. And we only have, say 0 to 100 scale or 0 to 10 scale. And we are constantly having to adjust in order to fit everyone accurately within that scoring scale. So there's constantly adjustments, and yeah, sure, maybe you got an 80, maybe you got a, who knows, you know what I mean, at some other event, but we don't assign points because the terrain changes every single time. Obstacles change every single event, and sometimes the tricks change or how someone approaches something changes. So it's ever changing, which means you can't assign anything. It's impossible to do that. And yeah, so everything, skateboarding is changing, evolving, as is like our adjustments as judges within the scoring scale. And the rank is the most important for us, is this skateboarder slotted in the correct place, and how it visually looks when it is, portrayed or displayed, to the skateboarders or the public tuning in. So yeah.
Yeah, and we see new tricks at every contest. So
that's the best part. The evolution is just like, you literally see something new happen every event, and it's super exciting. And then, the level of skateboarding changes to the next event, because that's, what's possible. And so that's the progression of skateboarding, is that there's what used to be, you know what I mean, this incredible score, for a run or best trick, or, you know what I mean, is not necessarily going to play out in a future event. And so you can't assign scores. You can't do anything like that, because it's ever changing, and it just is not possible. And we don't want to do that anyway, because you put skateboarding in a box, and then it's like you lose the whole aspect of progression and evolution of skateboarding, and also the creativity of the skateboarders, which is most important.
Yeah, they're gonna keep on doing the same tricks over and over again, because they know
and we know all about that. So
okay, that makes sense, guys. And we showed it in the episode 2 in our instructional video, that we showed the evolution, the progression of skateboarding, that 1 year or 1 season a trick could be scored in a certain level, and it becomes a standard couple months after that, where when it's been done for the first time, only 2 or just 1 skater could do it. Well, within a few months, everyone can do it.
yeah.
And the guys, the pioneers, the guys who are pushing the progression, are doing tricks on a new level of difficulty, or on the obstacles of different size. So for all the aspiring judges, please do not get stuck with categories for tricks or firm evaluations. It evolves, and there is a lot of things that the points assigned in your evaluations are deducted from. There's so many things that influence the final score that you see on the screen, that you cannot put them in a box. Guys, I think we can move to the next topic.